Okay, Georgia, I'm going to discuss your music video. I think you've done a really good job. Your work is really showing progress, and your blog is looking great. I think you've done really, really well. So I'm just going to go through your thing here. So this part here, this scene here where you've got the rain coming down, I think it might be a good idea for you to just shoot some rain coming down onto a window pane, just to break it up a little bit and to have some kind of reference. It seems a little bit odd just having the sound of rain when you don't link it with the visuals, so I really want you to do that, please. It really doesn't have to be a particularly long shot, and let's face it, it's England. You're more than likely going to get a rainy day where you could just do that fairly easily. Obviously, you've got to be careful about reflection. All right, so you've got to position yourself particularly well in order to make sure that you don't see yourself in it. But I'm sure you will find a way. However, I like the addition of the rain. I think it's a good thing for you to have had on there. I think this goes on a little bit too long. You could actually start it kind of, instead of starting it right where you start it, you could probably start it at this point where she's putting the headphones in. It just goes on a little bit too long, and this point the rain sounds a little bit like a
when I met you in the summer.
I'll just turn that down a little bit. So that little flashy bit, I really like that, and I think you did a really good job. I think they could last a little bit longer, the flashes of the beach, just a little bit longer, just so we can actually recognise what it is that you've put on there. But yeah, all of this is good. You've really done well with the connection of the beat to your imagery, so that's really, really good. I'm really impressed, like almost down to the bit where she closes the door and then it changes. You do a really good job of that. Really impressive. Unfortunately, obviously, I noticed that he suddenly has beard, and then later on he doesn't, which is a real shame. But hey, there's not really much you can do about that. And all these shots are great. I'm really happy with them. I would consider actually putting on a filter, because you've done it. These ones seem a lot richer in colour, a lot more yellow, and then it goes, yeah, they look a little bit less so. So, and that shot is really beardy. It's like, look, he's got a beard. And then again here, I think it's the colour tone needs to, here it's too bright, it needs to be a bit more yellow. Great shot, by the way. These are great in grey, that's fine. But I think again with the colour tone, so if you go back to this point here, it's quite grey, and then you go quite warm again. I think you need to have a change. You need to you need to match them, so it needs to be as grey. So you just need to tone down some of the red on it. And then again here, you've gone quite warm again, which is much better. So there's just a couple of bits where you just need to match some of the tones. It's a bit too different. But again, that's final editing stuff. You don't need to be doing that right this moment. All of these good bits are fantastic. Very happy. Again, it is quite obvious he hasn't got a beard in these ones. These make me giggle a little bit. I'm not sure what you're going to have there when you say still need to film the footage. I can't remember whether we've had a discussion about this or not. But yeah. Again, all of this great. You need to change that shot because it's the same one that you've used before. it gets a bit samey now, but these are really good. It's a shame it's slightly out of focus. Again, change this one. You've got too many of this shot. This one's fine. I think you've already had this shot as well, so, or something similar. And your ending needs to be a little bit more interesting than her looking in a photo album. It's a little bit boring, and I would like you to change it. I don't know, maybe going back to the window pane with the rain coming down, or having a sunset, which is what we discussed before. I know that you struggled to find that. So I don't know, it needs to be a bit more interesting at the end. All right, but you've done a really, really good job. I'm very impressed.